Okay guys, on today's video, I'm gonna hopefully try to repair my annoying idle surge because it's been years and I'm finally sick of it. So let's get started. Now, for those of you who don't know, my name is Jay, and this is Project GoodSpeed, where I mostly just work on my little hatchback here. And I've had this hatchback for, I don't know, going on 10 years. And the Civic has always had an idling issue. Just want to mention that I do have an idling problem, so just keep that in mind for the rest of the video. If you guys hear really terrible idling, it's an issue I have to address. I know that I haven't gotten around to it. Just keep that in mind. All right, so just gonna wait a while and see if this check engine light comes on. It does that. Okay, so currently it is at 2,000 RPMs, and it makes sense because it's, well, I don't know if that makes sense, honestly. It's, like I said, I've had this for years and it makes sense to me now, but let me go ahead and give it a little bit of gas. And if we wait a while, it will start to come down, but then it'll start to surge. And there it goes. So it's between probably 1,500 to 1,900 or 18. And as you guys might be able to hear, it will get annoying. Like I said, it does this throughout the entire time I'm driving it. Some days it goes away, some days it doesn't. So that is what the problem is. So let me go ahead and tell you guys what I've done in the past to try to fix it. And I want to start off by saying I'm not an expert, I'm not even a mechanic really. I just look online to find possible solutions that don't cost too much money. Basically cleaning the throttle body was one of the first things that I checked, just because all it takes is a little carb cleaner to try to clean up any ports that might be causing this issue. So in the past, that's what I did. I basically removed it, cleaned it with carb cleaner, and put it all back in, and I still had that same problem. And then I think I replaced the gasket. I'm not too sure. Sometimes the gaskets on these could also cause air to leak through and cause the surging issue. So I'm gonna be trying to do that today as well. I'm not sure if that's a stock throttle body or an aftermarket one or a different model Civic. I don't know, these Civics are kind of interchangeable, so I don't know if that's stock. Then I moved on to another little more complicated solution, and that is the idle air control valve right here. And I tried cleaning that. I actually removed it, and coolant just bursts out everywhere, so you will have to flush it. That's why it's a little bit more annoying to try to fix that. So I removed it, and I just sprayed the little ports that it has. It has two small ports in there with like little wire mesh in there, just to trap any dirt or anything. Sometimes they get clogged up. So I just cleaned those up, and I threw it back in there, and still had the idling surge issue. Now, one thing I kind of checked but didn't look into too much detail was the vacuum lines, which I'm told is a very, very common issue with these types of Civics. The vacuum lines tend to, I guess, leak. And I barely noticed the other day that this was also an issue here, which is, if you guys can tell, this vacuum line hose kind of has collapsed, and it is quite sturdy, and it might be restricting airflow. So I'm gonna be changing that out today. But in the past, I didn't really pay too much attention to it because I thought that if it was a vacuum issue, it'd be consistently doing this issue. But like I mentioned before, sometimes it goes away. So that's why I wasn't too leaning towards a vacuum line issue. But who knows, maybe today that might be the issue. I also found out there is another idle valve that is more commonly known as the fast idle here, which is down here under the throttle body. And I'm gonna be focusing on that one today because it seems like the cold start has to do with the fast idle valve. That could be why it's more prominent in the mornings, and sometimes throughout the day when it warms up or something, it does go away. For today, however, I'm gonna be focusing on the fast idle valve and that particular little vacuum line there. One thing I don't know is if I have to bleed the system once I remove the fast idle valve, because I don't know if I'll have enough room in there, but I'll get to that once I remove the intake and get a better look at the fast idle valve. Looks like there is room to actually maneuver it around here. There's a coolant line that leads to the idle air control valve. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and remove the throttle body just to expose it this way, because I bought a gasket for the throttle body just in case that is also an issue. So I'm gonna be needing to remove the throttle body anyway. So it's just 4 nuts, 2 bolts and 2 nuts. And I'm gonna go ahead and remove the throttle cable here. Okay, so I just started disconnecting a bunch of sensors. I think this is the map sensor and this is probably the TPS sensor. I don't know. I just disconnected these 2 sensors, this vacuum line up here, and then this hose that leads to the fast idle valve. I put 1 screw back on there to fasten it. And it should just be held on there by 1 more hose on the other side of the fast idle valve, but that was the only one that was keeping me from actually sliding it out. So here we go. That's what I need to get to, right there. And I'm also gonna be replacing my throttle body gasket, although that one doesn't look too bad. But it was only like $6, and I figured I'd probably need to remove the throttle body because I don't know, I'd be too kind of like nervous to actually strip these bolts if I tried to kind of just loosen it up there. And also you'll see when I open it up what I mean. You can actually just take a screwdriver and open these up. Oh man, these are kind of, there we go, that one's done. This one's kind of not cooperating. Oh man, I'm gonna need a ratchet for that one. Come on, man. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Something always goes wrong. So that makes sense why the screw, I mean, that's why the screwdriver wouldn't freaking work. It just stripped clean off. Oh boy. I mean, it seems kind of pointless to try to fix now that I can't even screw it back in there. Come on, something always goes wrong. Oh, I don't know what to do. How do I even begin to remove this little bolt? And the answer to that is, I have no idea. Do I go to the junkyard to pick one up? Or do I spend a lot of time trying to remove this little screw? Oh boy, I don't know. Welcome to Project GoodSpeed, guys, where nothing ever goes as planned. I mean, now it has to come off, right? I have to find some way to either replace that or fix that, and I can't do that while it's in there, but I might as well just clean everything while I figure this out. See, the thing is, I'm pretty sure it also matters whether or not it's an automatic or a manual, and finding a manual D15 B7 at the junkyard nowadays, trust me, I've looked, it's getting a little annoyingly hard, and I might have to buy this part brand new. So that kind of sucks. This is not how you remove it, I know, but I'm replacing it, so I don't care. I tried using my Dremel, but it didn't work. You guys can see the screw is just stuck in there. Yo, it costs $205. Nah, they tripping. I'll find some other way to fix this. $205 for this piece. That is ridiculous. Where do they get off charging this much? You guys know what they say. Every 15-minute job is 1 strip bolt away from being 3 hours long. Oh boy. So it's about $200 for a brand new fast idle valve, and they don't even have it in stock. So I don't even know how long that will take. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can buy one of those bolt removal kits to try to remove this tiny little thing, but I don't know if that's gonna be possible. So let me go ahead and tell you guys what I did. after removing the throttle body and the fast idle valve from the hoses that connected it, I essentially stripped the bolt, right? And I couldn't get it out. I went to the store to remove for the nut remover kit, the bolt remover kit, whatever, to try to screw it in and pull it out, but it didn't work. The damn drill bit wouldn't go through. No matter what I tried, it just kind of spun in place. I don't know, maybe the metal of the screw was just too much for that little drill bit, but it didn't work. So in order to remove that pesky screw or bolt, I really couldn't find a way. So I just drilled a hole through it and installed a self-tapping screw. And that was good enough for me, just because I just need that thing to close shut. And I don't think it will be an issue. There's not much moving parts to it. I don't think it'll come out, but I essentially just put a self-tapping screw in there, and that was good enough for me. Now, I did clean the idle air control valve as best as I could. I cleaned the inside. I cleaned the little spring-loaded thing that's inside the fast idle valve, and then I tightened down all the way to as much as it went down using a little trim remover tool. You could also use a screwdriver, but I was scared that I might break the little plastic, and I didn't want to make things even worse, because this took a lot longer than it should have. Once I actually cleaned it all up, I also cleaned the throttle body, just because I wanted to make sure it was already cleaned. It wasn't an issue other than maybe the bottom part that connects to the fast idle valve. It was a little too worn down. So it doesn't look like any of the ports are clogged, but this right here is a little concerning, because this goes to the idle air control valve, and the throttle is also controlled by the coolant as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean that up, and maybe this might be an issue as well. Like I said, I don't really know too much, but I'm gonna just clean this up as best as I can and just throw it back on there with a new seal. And that could also have been an issue as to why I'm having the surge thing, but I cleaned it up now and put it all back together with my brand new gasket and bolted it back into place, installed the connectors again and all the vacuum lines back into my intake. And I also actually replaced the hose that I mentioned earlier, the hose that collapsed, and I looked inside and it turns out it's kind of like melted on that part that was collapsed. So that could also be an issue as to why I was having this surge thing. So I don't really know exactly what was the cause, because there were so many things that looked like it could be wrong. For one thing, the collapsed vacuum hose that was restricting airflow, that could have done it. The corroded part that's on the throttle body that leads to the fast idle, that could have caused a surge. And also the fast idle valve could have been loose. I saw it did look like it was a little loose, but I've seen videos where that little plunger thing was kind of pushed all the way out. So I guess mine wasn't as worse, I don't know. So this is still the cold start. I literally just started it, has not had time to warm up. I imagine once it does warm up, I'm gonna have to adjust the idle RPM, I guess, because I kind of loosened one of the bolts that controls that, so I have to adjust that once it warms up. I'll stop recording to let it warm up, and if it starts to surge again, I will start again. Okay, it's looking like I might have fixed it. Check it out. It's still warming up. There's the gas. The key thing here is there is no surge. I mean, it jumps up, but it like wants to come down back to normal. So, oh boy, this has taken me years to do, and it didn't take that long, if I'm being honest. I should have looked into this a long time ago. I gotta tell you guys, this is probably the first time in years, if not ever, that I've actually managed to start it up without having to hear that annoying idle surge. And it's doing pretty good. Let's check out the RPMs real quick. I haven't looked at the manual to see what the RPMs should be at idle. Right now it's probably about 500, 5 or 6. So I might have to adjust it up a little higher. Still going strong. So it's still at about 500. Now, actually, since I did disconnect the hoses that lead to the fast idle valve, and they are coolant related, I think I might have to bleed the system, but I'm not entirely sure. Also, I need to adjust the idle speed, I guess, And I don't want to adjust it right now just because I'm not sure if I have to actually flush the system as well. So I'd rather do it all at once just to make sure I do it the right way. Because if I adjust it now without having to flush the system, I'm not sure if it'll be accurate. I don't really care, honestly. The freaking annoying surge is now gone and I can drive this thing in peace without having to worry about coming to a stoplight and then just hearing my car just up and down or idling. It's annoying. I imagine people think I'm trying to race, but it's not. That's not. My car is just, I'm just lazy. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Like I said, I'm gonna drive it around and actually bleed the coolant system so that I can actually properly adjust the throttle. But now that I have no more pesky idling issues, the little Civic is now on its way to becoming a better daily driver. In the last video, I actually installed the spark plugs, which will help increase fuel efficiency, and also I improved my idling, which will also decrease my wastefulness in gas. So that's a good thing. So until next time, guys, take care and good speed.